moments.
Good.
I think
Good.
I felt it on an intellectual level, just the fact that we were singing live, the
Yeah.
fact that it was a story about 6 Black women produced by, just the Black girl magic. I just felt like that in and of itself was historic. But you
Yeah.
never know how it's going to be received.
Yeah. I mean, I was so trying to survive, while we were doing that, and I was so focused on that. Like I just wanted us to get through it. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yes,
I
yes.
really just wanted us to get through it. I mean, we had fun, but it was hard.
It was.
It was hard. And what I was certain of, is that when people heard you guys sing, I mean, you have to have a cold heart, like a peanut for a heart. You know what I
Yes,
mean? To not
yes,
be moved by you guys. So,
yeah.
and even when I was telling people to watch it, I was like, the movie might be okay, but you need to hear these girls sing. If nothing else, I would be like, the singing gonna be good.
Right, right.
So,
If nothing else, the
and
singing is
nothing
going to be
else,
good. Right.
the singing gonna be good. And I
But
was
no, it
confident.
all, yes, yes. But it came together in such a beautiful way. Someone was asking me about that opening scene. And I told them that that was your idea, to slow down that hallelujah moment.
Yeah.
Because they were asking, they wanted it to be on the soundtrack, and they were like, where. And I said that was we were trying to figure out how to start the film, and that was a vision that you had of starting it with an a cappella stripped down, really showing, like, I think, Christine saw the beauty of it, the magic of what the Clark sisters represent.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I had seen this. There's this one of my favorite movies, and the director did another movie, and it's this Polish guy. His name is Pawlowski, and he did a movie, and he began the movie with these folk artists, and they were just looking straight at the camera, and I think I can't remember if they were playing or singing, but they were looking straight at the camera, and for those 2 or 3 minutes, you had to focus on these people.
Mm,
There was nothing about, they weren't framed in any sort of way. It was just them bare, and you had to watch them. And I said, for me to introduce this story, what I knew, I wanted people to drown in the Clark sisters
yeah,
immediately.
yeah.
Immediately. So whatever we did after that, we had to capture their imagination immediately. And the way to do that is through what? They're singing.
That's what they're
You know,
about.
and no bells and whistles.
Yes.
What was so great, and this is what is so great to me, is the achievement of this film, is that you guys were singing that song. There were no backing tracks in that. Nothing. Nothing. And you
Yes.
were doing over and over and over again, and every right.
I remember. I
you
remember.
know
Mm-hmm.
and Christine was like, finding these different, and finding your faces. It was just your faces and your voices. And
Yeah.
I just felt like that was the raw, stripped
Yes.
way to introduce this story of the Clark sisters to the world. And you guys did it so effectively. No matter what, if people stayed, how can you leave after seeing that?
Mm-hmm. I
How,
agree. I agree. But
how
that
can
that
you?
was something that came from your heart, and I think it set the tone for the film, because we saw just the essence, and even individually who each of them are.
Yes.
And I think
Yeah.
that was so important to the
The
storytelling.
other.
This is something that you were trained in. You didn't just jump up one day and say, I want to act. You prepared for it. I know you listened to tapes and, watched all her videos. But
Yeah.
I want to know, how much of Aunjanue is Maddie, and how much of Maddie is Aunjanue.
Cool child. Look at you with Sheléa. be your reel for your, you know, your talk show. Okay. BET, anybody listening? BET.
Come on, promote me, mama. Promote me, mama.
Come on. Okay, all right, okay. So, how much of me is Manny? How much is it? Okay. So my cousins, after they saw the movie, right?
Yeah.
I didn't think about this, but my cousins were like, "You just playing grandmama.
Wow.
That's all you doing is you playing grandmama." And I was like, "Wait a minute, what?" And then I thought about it, I was like, "They're right. They're right." Like I was playing my grandmother. And I say that because my grandmother was this very, you know, some people would say that she was very stoic. You know, she was very withheld in her emotions. She didn't give away a lot so far as her feelings were concerned. I remember I had this conversation with her one day when I was an annoying child. And I said, "Grandmother, what would you like to change about yourself?" I was like a annoying kid. And she said, "You know, I wish I could talk more. I wish I would talk more." You know, and I think that speaks to me so far about, you know, in terms of Maddie. Do you know what I mean? She was very misunderstood because she was very withheld in her emotions. You know, the only place where she felt free to do that is when she was testifying and when she was preaching, you know. But on a personal level, she just had that face, you know, and
Yes.
didn't give up a lot. She was very economized when it came to emotions. And I think she had to do this because she was this woman of infinite vision. She didn't have time. You know what I mean? Like
Right. Right.
she didn't have time. So my grandmother was, I saw my grandmother in that now. I can see that now. And
Yes.
through my grandmama, I guess that is something, you know, I do share with her. But I would say something else is just, I think that what I have come to realize about, you know, Maddie is, I've been saying this a lot, is that she has this infinite vision, you know. And because when you have infinite vision, when your vision is not cannot be contained,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You are strange. You
Mm.
are a strange
Mm.
person. You're a very
Mm.
strange person. You're an alien person because your idea of how she didn't just have a vision for her daughters, she had a vision for the future of gospel music.
Wow.
You
Wow.
know,
Yeah,
she did.
absolutely. She did. Absolutely.
She had
Absolutely.
a vision. So there was gospel music before Dr. Maddie, and then there was gospel music after Dr. Maddie, right?
Mm.
Like before Maddie, after Maddie. And so if you've
Yes.
got all of that inside you, you know, you are not going to, you know, go through the world like everybody else. You don't
Yeah.
have time for that because you have infinite vision. You have a vision that other people can't see, and it's strange. You are strange. You are perceived as strange, and
Mm.
also very lonely. It's very
Mm.
isolating.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
You touched on something about how you're perceived, just how it seems to very strangely have changed overnight to where all of a sudden, you know,
Yeah.
but I think it's interesting that people are asking questions, and I look at Maddie and how she was perceived by the men in her life.
Mm-hmm.
There was this moment in the movie that that was just so deep to me when her husband said, you know, you're useless to me. You know, this woman who had all of these gifts and all well that ran so deep to be what he wanted her to be, yeah, she was useless. Because what
Yeah.
he wanted her to be was just the typical pastor's wife. You know, and I'm
Yeah.
not saying there's anything wrong with that, because I do think I know pastors' wives personally, and that there's a big job to fill with that. But there was so much more that she had. And because she moved with so much power, she was perceived as doing too much.
Yeah.
She was perceived as, I would even dare to say, the angry black woman. You know, I watched you in the way you move, and the way that you would present yourself on set, off set. You move with a lot of power. You know what you want. You're very expressive. Is that something that you have kind of been keenly aware of, or even thought to yourself, let me try to bring this down a little bit because I don't want to be the angry black woman. I don't want to be doing too much. What have you felt moving in the industry as this powerful black woman?
Uh, um, well, I refused to do that when we were working together. I
Yes.
refused to do that, and you saw what happened. So, like, you know, I just,
Come on
I
now.
just refused.
Yes.
I just refused to do
Yes.
that. I mean, I just refused to do
Yes.
that. I'm still refusing to do, and that's a lonely road, and that's a lonely road, and you might
Yes.
leave along the way. But as long as you are doing whatever you are doing, integrity, and integrity was my desire to pay homage to that family that had done so
Yes.
much for my life. They didn't know me from Adam, but have done and continue to do so much for me in my life. They're there for me when on my lowest days, and they're there for me in my highest moments. There's the Clark sisters singing those songs that lift me up and wrap their arms around me when I'm lonely. So
Mm.
I had to. Things that folks would say about Maddie, like she mean, she this, she that. I leaned into. I didn't fall
Yes.
back from it. I didn't demur. I leaned into it,
Yes.
because
Yes.
to do less than that would be a disservice to Dr. Maddie, her legacy, the memory of her, and would be. And I just refuse to do that. And
Yeah.
then the rest of my life, and how I move in the world. It depends on the role. If I'm playing somebody who actually walked the earth, do you know what I mean? I feel
Mm-hmm.
that if you are given that gift to do that, you have to serve that gift with honor, right? If I'm
Yes.
playing someone who's fictional and is the imagination of a director, writer, I'm in service to that character, because ultimately that
Yeah.
character is a nation of the person. So I carry myself depending on if the character is someone who's real, who actually that people witnessed. It's a different experience for
That
me.
what Maddie was mean. And some people did. Do you care if people call you mean? Like Anjanue's mean. Does that bother you? Hold on, hold on. Oh, wait. I'm not hearing you. Hold on. Go to a for some reason I'm not hearing. And I know you're saying some amazing stuff. And I feel like coming out of this quarantine is gonna be different.
Okay, can you hear me?
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care now if someone says attitude. I feel like before I cared. Do you, you know, it sounds like you're saying you don't care about that either. Like, the same way you leaned into Maddie saying, okay, she's
Mm, mm-hmm.
unapologetically, she's on a mission. Yeah, you call her mean. Okay. And do you feel that for Anjanue? If someone says Anjanue's mean, or Anjanue is, she's too passionate. She comes across, just too much. Does that matter to you right now?
If that perception came as I don't care
Yes.
about. I do not care about that, because what I know about myself is that I'm a generous human being. I'm a generous human
Yes.
being, and I'm, you know, I hate to say it. I don't know other way to say it. Like generous, kind to a fault.
Mm-hmm.
On your resume, you teach by example. You teach
Yes.
by example. You don't be telling somebody this is how you need to do it, and this you don't do that. You teach unless someone asks you. Then you can say, okay, if you want my opinion, this is what I'll offer to you. If you want it, if you need it. I didn't feel like I
Mm-hmm.
had to tell you guys anything. The only thing that I needed to do was what I wanted from you guys, which was one, show up, show up on time, know my lines, and be ready
Yeah.
to work.
Yeah.
And that was the
Yeah.
best example that I could be. And if I'm in a situation with anybody and on any set, when they don't abide by those things, then it's problematic. No matter what the
Hmm.
no matter what the situation is. If you come in there and don't know your lines, if you late, if you if you're there because you're trying to be in service of yourself, it does not matter what object is. You are putting everybody else at a disadvantage, and you are dishonoring the people that you are playing. And I
That's
just I
right.
just couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. So if someone looks at my behavior and says, "Oh, she mean, or she too passionate, or she too this," okay, that's fine. But what was I doing any of that because I was trying to bolster myself? No, not at
Right.
all. I wanted
Right.
to do what was best
Right.
for that family and for Dr. Maddie. And I want us to look good, Sheléa. You know
Yes.
what I
I
mean?
know. I know. I
I
know.
wanted to make us look good. And that's why, we were, doing all those changes and everything, because I wanted the words that came out of your mouth to be to
Yes.
that would be the best representation of Dorinda Clark Cole. You and I, you
Yes.
can talk that you and I were having conversations about your prayer on the bridge for weeks
Yes.
until you got
Yes.
to a place where you were like, I feel. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes. No, and I do want to say that you carry yourself, just let me gush for this little second. You have so much passion and it's so pure. It's almost childlike. It's so pure because you I think it's the integrity for what you do, and I think that is just baked into the fabric of who you are as a human being. And so that level of excellence never made me feel uncomfortable. If anything, it made me want to go harder,
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted, every time I was in your presence on set, it made me better. It made me better
Mm-hmm.
immediately without you telling me anything. Just being in your presence made me better. Um, and so, yeah, we talked a lot about the two prayers, the one prayer that I did on your bedside,
Yes.
and then the prayer that I'm praying on the bridge. And
Yeah.
we were going back and forth, and finally I sent you something and you were like, this is it. And you said, but put this verse in there. And that was your idea, to put, neither height nor depth can separate me from God's love. And I've talked to the audience a few times about how the bridge scene was edited, how you kind of weren't able to really see the full vision that we had intended it to be. But
Yeah.
I feel like organically what we created was just so beautiful. And even though they didn't get to see it, it's a scene that I'm really most proud of, and I'm just so thankful that I had you, just to really lift me up during that time.
Well, here's
So
what I will say. What I'm hoping will happen is that one day there will be a director's cut.
yes,
You know?
yes,
So all of your great work.
that you said that kind of, it really struck me. You said, I'm I'm the loving kind. I'm not the marrying kind. And that struck me because I feel like kind of what we're even talking about just with women and our stories, just someone who is unapologetically living the kind of life they want. And I know for me, I didn't get that courage to live my life that way, unapologetic, without having to explain anything to anybody until my divorce. But I just want to know, what gave you that courage? Because that's not something that just women say, you know? It's just something that, you know, we have the whole idea of you meet a guy, you get married, you got the whole picket fence. But what gave you that courage to feel that and to even say that out loud? Oh no.
Uh,
No, no, no. Okay, did you hear anything I said? Oh. Okay, we're gonna see if she can come back in later. Wow, it was going so good. It was going so good. I really want to hear your answer to that too. Okay, let's see. Let's come back to me, baby. Come to me. Nothing but your arms around you. Wow, what are you guys thinking? What is it? I mean, I hate that we're having some technical difficulties, but man, I mean, this is really been great. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Let's see. Maybe we should listen to some things as we're waiting to see if she can. Hey.
you got the
Um.
questions.
So yeah. Do you still feel that way? And do you what gave you that courage to just say something that to me women just don't say? I'm the loving kind. I'm not the marrying kind.
I never felt that I needed to do that.
Mm.
I just never felt that I needed to do that. It was just not something that was ever in my spirit, you
Yes.
know?
Yes.
I I have somebody in my life and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I love them, but it's not my reason to get up in the morning, ain't my reason to lay my head down at night at all.
Right, right. I think it pricked me because, again, like I was saying a little bit earlier, there's just these ideas about women, and you even you were very single-minded on making sure the story about the Clark sisters was not about the men and who they were dating and getting married and what, the weight and just all the clothes, and like it wasn't about that, and I think that reflects in just your choices. But I think why perhaps it originally was like that is because we get told that in every Disney movie, in every storybook, about women, and our place in the world. It's usually centered around a man loving us, and I think for me, as I was saying before we kind of got cut off, my divorce allowed me to have that courage to say, I can get married again or not. I can have kids or not. I don't have to fit into this lane that everybody says a woman should be in, and it just gave me the freedom to just be Sheléa, who I am, this woman that has so much to give, and that's not necessarily tied around a man, you know? So that just pricked me. That just pricked me. But
Yeah,
the
yeah.
last thing I wanna ask you, because I know you have to get going. The last thing I want to ask you is, and it's kind of tied to this in some ways, the 2020 version of Aunjanue, which is continuing to evolve and to find new ways to express yourself and to, just I feel like there's so much that's being revealed about who you are. Oh, there's one more thing I did want to ask before I ask this one. You know, the Washington Post said that, you know, you've been in all these blockbuster hits, but Aunjanue Ellis is becoming famous because of a Lifetime biopic. Does that matter to you? You know, does being famous, being a household name, does that even matter to you?
I don't know what the, you know, let me tell you, I'm going to be frank with you. I'm going to be frank
Yeah.
with you. You know, I always think about these things in terms of what they empower me to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm honest with you, I have lost many a job to women who are more famous, and I'm, you know, I'm not famous.
Wow.
Women who have lost, well, who are who have awards, who have, everybody knows their name. You don't have to say,
Yes.
when you say those names, you don't have to talk about that girl who was in, you know
Right,
what I mean?
right, right, right.
Yes, yes. So that mattering to me doesn't matter beyond it, you know, equipping me to do things that I really want to do, to take parts I really
Yeah.
want to take, to buy my sister a house,
Yes. Yes.
you know.
I
That's
man,
the,
I you know what? I have never heard someone really say it quite like that, and I think you're right. It's a tool. It's a
it's a
tool.
tool
You know, just yeah. Yeah.
that,
Yeah. Wow,
yeah.
that's so powerful. You know, I think it's interesting about how we view success, you know, because anybody I mention your name to, and anybody who knows that we've worked together, the amount of really love and respect is, it's just overwhelming for people. People have such an immense level of respect for you. And so, you know, like Christine has said, and I've seen in some interviews, you know, we're just happy that, like you said, that other part is coming. People that have been seeing you consistently kill it, movie after movie, and such diverse roles, you know. And you just bring such an authenticity to each character. But yeah, we want the tools, honey. Let's buy sister that house. You know, we want all the roles. We want it all, honey.
Girl, I tell you, if I can make that happen, I can go on to meet my mama, you know, if I can do that for her. So yeah, you know, if more folks know my name in service of like me being able to do that, then yeah, I want that. I want that.
And even using your voice that I've been seeing, you know, I will say though, honey, we both Cali girls because we were both born in the Bay. You were born in San
That's
Francisco,
right.
and I was
Was.
born in Redwood City. So we're both Bay
All
Area
right.
girls
Okay.
at the beginning. But
Yeah.
you were raised in Mississippi. And so, you know,
Yes.
you have been really using your voice for quite some time trying to bring that Confederate flag down. And so I'm going to be standing and praying in agreement and with action that that will happen, you know. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. I can hear you, but I think that
Okay, okay. It just froze. It just froze, but I can hear you though.
I think the
Uh, Teddy, no, go back, Teddy.
I love Teddy Riley. I hate his name
Oh,
either. Just
we love
being
you
drug.
though. We love you, Teddy. We love you so much, but the spirit is thick. So we rebuke it, honey. We rebuke it. But the last thing I want to ask you is the 2020 Aunjanue Ellis. What would she tell the 1996 Aunjanue Ellis who just had her debut film, you know, What would 2020 Aunjanue tell 1996 Aunjanue? Girls.
Oh,
What,
I
what,
was
what was
like,
it? Girls Town. Girls Town.
oh, right. I
What would she tell her?
would tell her, girl, have more fun. I say,
Mm,
have more fun.
have more fun.
Enjoy your
And what
life.
would that
Be
and what would that look like? What would enjoying your life look like? What would that look like?
well, for me, I was entirely too serious. Just entirely too seriously, and just I was miserable, and I was
Mm,
letting folks in my life make me miserable. Just
mm-hmm.
stupid stuff you do in your 20s. You may not know nothing about that. Y'all may not.
I
I'm
had a
speaking
few
for
folks
myself.
kind of making my life too. I'm with you. Yeah.
You know, stupid stuff I did in my 30s too. But yeah, yeah, you know, and I just wasted a lot of time. I wasted a lot of time caring about things that were small and trivial and
Mm,
problematizing things that were not problems. And and I was scared of things that I shouldn't have been scared of. And
mm,
I just enjoy my life the way that I, you know, should have, and operating in fear. And oh my God, the enemy, forget Teddy Riley,
right.
the spirit of Teddy, you know,
Hmm.
fear will sit down your ambitions and your dreams at every turn. And I allowed that. So I would just
Mm,
tell, oh, you know, enjoy your life. Everybody in the world, do what you're doing. You know, Leah, like, girl, if I could, you know, people like listen to you, you know, and just like, God, if I could sing like that child. I mean, like, in many
mm,
ways, you know, your life through your gift is a gift, you know, and
mm.
acknowledging that and living in that, you know, as much as you
Yeah.
can. And I didn't do that when I was younger. I just didn't do that. Yeah,
Mm. Well, are you? I hope you're doing it now.
more definitely, more so. And here's what happened. What happened was is that you know, my acting life, whatever it is, my family became first. I started putting my family
Mm,
first. You know,
mm.
I didn't have a choice, but I put my family first, and that's where I've derived most of my joy from is
Wow.
my family. All of this
Wow.
stuff that comes, and you know, it's just, you know, it's what I do, it's how I make a living, but my joy and my family, it just has made such a difference in my life, in my sanity. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I
Yes.
have so enjoyed my time with you. Thank you so much for just taking the time to talk to me. I know you don't do a whole lot of these, so for you to, spend this time with me means more than I can ever express. I'm so just proud to know you. I'm just proud to know you. I pray that our paths will cross again on another movie set. But if not, I will love just to take you out to lunch as my mama. So anyway, I don't know if you're hearing any of this. I hope you were able to hear all of that. Could you hear it, mama? Okay. I'm not
Can you hear
sure.
me?
But I love you and thank you so much. Oh, okay, I can hear you now. Can you hear me now? Could you hear anything I said? Huh?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Now I can. Now I
You
can.
hope our paths cross on another movie?
Say it one more
Yeah,
time.
well, if you can hear me, I said, if you can hear me, I just want to tell you that I'm sorry, but I'm in your life. Sorry.
Oh, I love you dearly. Thank you for all that you are. And I just can't wait to see you're going to be playing opposite Will Smith for the story of Venus and Serena. So I just can't wait to just keep watching you. I'm rooting for you, and I just love you dearly. So enjoy. Just be safe because we need you safe. Protect Aunjanue at all costs. And I'm gonna text you later. Okay.
Bye.
Love you. Bye bye.